Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I'm going to be casting a best of 3 from the IEM New York. That is the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge tournament that happened in New York over this past weekend. I believe I did cast a game from that tournament on Friday as well. So, going to be casting some more from that, and I'm very, very excited to be casting this best of 3 because spawning here in the northern position as the yellow Zerg, we have FruitDealer. FruitDealer is going to be operating under this. I don't know why at the IEM he operated under the screen name Rise? I don't know. But it is FruitDealer, I assure you. And his opponent today spawning in the western position as the red Protoss, playing from Team EG, is going to be EGAxslav. Now, EGAxslav, as I said, is going to be a player from EG. Not a hugely well-known player, but he is out there on the tournament scene. He has won a lot of smaller tournaments, nothing big, no MLGs or GSLs or anything like that, but he's won a few smaller online tournaments, and he generally does pretty well, and he's been playing StarCraft since it came out. Or StarCraft 2, rather. So, FruitDealer is mainly the reason I wanted to cast this game, just because FruitDealer is, well, for a long time he's been very, very inactive, but he was the very, very first ever GSL winner in Korea. So, he got a lot of very fast fame when StarCraft 2 first came out, because he kind of quickly got crowned as kind of a king of StarCraft right off the bat. And then he kind of just dropped off the scene for a while. He just kind of disappeared a lot, and or he just disappeared and nobody really, I mean, I think he had to go off and do military service for Korea. The military service there is required once you turn 18, I believe. So yeah, he was gone for a while doing the military service, but now he's trying to get back into the StarCraft 2 scene, and he's been doing it with some success. He's been doing alright. I think he's been competing in the GSLs again. I don't think he's Code S. I think he's Code A now, but I would have to verify that. Someone can verify that for me as well if they'd like, and comment down in the chat. Now, like I said, this is going to be a best of 3 I'm going to be casting today, and so let's jump right into this game right now. Looks like FruitDealer did go for that fast expansion, got up that gas geyser, and now he's getting up that spawning pool. Very, very standard opening here for Zerg, something that we see very, very commonly. To fast expand, especially on this map, it is even more safe just because the rush distances on this map are fairly large. But what do we have here from EGAxslav? But we have a pylon going down. His forge is up, so he does have the option to throw down cannons if he does, whoa, getting some lag there. Getting some lag. Alright, I think we're okay. I think we're stabilizing a little bit. Nope. Looks like he's just going to be threatening and trying to force a cancel on that hatchery. Looks like he's not actually going to commit to those cannons. Looks like he is actually just going to be pulling back here. And we do have, well, for some reason he had a couple of probes going down there. Looks like he was thinking about committing to some cannon harassment there, but it looks like now he's just decided that he's just going to sit back, get up his own nexus, and really wall himself in here. As we can see, there's that standard Protoss wall off with the forge, the gateway with the photon cannon going down directly behind it. This is going to be very, very hard for FruitDealer to break this early in the game. He will, of course, need a big swell of roaches if he wants to be able to shoot over these two buildings and get to that photon cannon, and any Zerglings that come are going to have to run all the way around here and come all the way around the back to get to that photon cannon. So EGAxslav is feeling pretty safe right now, just going to be probing up and getting those probes up and saturated at that natural expansion. A couple of Zerglings now moving across the map here for FruitDealer, going to be poking in here a little bit. Man, I didn't cast over the weekend and now I can't talk at all. What the heck is going on? And look at that. Immediately upon seeing that natural expansion went down, he instantly throws down a hatchery, and he's now sending an overlord into the main. This is something that's very, very smart to do as a Zerg player. Anytime you see a Protoss player forge fast expand like this, I mean, as you can see, the cybernetics core is not even done yet. The cybernetics core is still being created, so there's no way he's going to have any stalkers. So you can pretty much just send an overlord directly into their main. The only thing they can have that can shoot up at this point in time is just photon cannons. So, and those are all generally going to be focused at their front, and you can always just kind of go around them with your overlord and just kind of see what's going on, poking all around. And so that's exactly what FruitDealer's doing, going to be in there scouting as much tech as he can. And in the base of FruitDealer right now, FruitDealer is still just droning up right now, still only working on one gas geyser, no layer tech up yet. Checking out that harvester count, we do have 32 harvesters for the FruitDealer to the 30 of EGAxslav, and it looks like Zergling speed about halfway done right now. Looks like both these players going to be going for a little bit more macro style, but EGAxslav, I think, is really the person who's going to determine the pace of this game, just because the Protoss players generally can be very, very strong on 2 base, but the timing of a Protoss 3rd base is extremely important. It's extremely important both as a Protoss player to know when you're going to take your 3rd, and as a Zerg player when your opponent is taking that 3rd. When your opponent is a Protoss and is taking your 3rd, you need to be very, very careful as a Zerg player, because a 3 base Protoss is ridiculously strong against Zerg. So, or against any race for that matter, they're just ridiculously strong in general. So you definitely need to be aware of that, and you definitely need to have a plan for it. Some Zerg players will focus an entire strategy around just denying a 3rd base from a Protoss player. In this case, it looks like EGAxslav not yet going for that 3rd, because he's still focusing on getting this natural down and set, and then he'll be making that decision as to whether he wants to base this play off of 2 base or 3 base play. A lot of Protoss players these days are finding it fairly easy to play defensive and just go for that fast 3 base, and then once they get their 3 base, push out as they expand on 3 base, and it can be very, very strong to deal with. Now, Void Ray, now coming across the map here, going to try to deny this 3rd from going down, but it of course was scouted with that Overlord that was in the main for so long. FruitDealer pretty much knew every ounce of tech that EGAxslav was going for, and so now he did get up some Spore Crawlers and some Queens to be able to defend against this Void Ray, and he's going to be perfectly poised to defend against it. We do have more Phoenixes on the way though right now for EGAxslav right now, so it looks like he's going to be going for a little bit of early air control and trying to take some early air aggression to try to deny bases, try to pick off maybe a few Queens, maybe a few drones if you can pick them off, and some Overlords if FruitDealer's got them all around the map. Now we can see that FruitDealer is starting to break down the rocks here to EGAxslav's 3rd base. Keep in mind again that this is going to be a Terminus, which means that there is a very easily accessible 3rd base, but it is only a half expansion with a regular Vespene Geyser and only 5 mineral patches there. That is the 3rd that FruitDealer took as well. And FruitDealer now getting saturated on all his gases. Layer Tech is now up. Looks like he's researching that pneumatized carapace. Absolutely love that when your opponent is going for air units and phoenixes and things. You definitely want to be fast enough to be able to move your Overlords back if they start to get harassed, and get them back in time. Now, looks like these Phoenixes are finally across the map here, now, and we do have this being followed up by a lot of gateways. Hydras are now out on the map here for FruitDealer. And FruitDealer is going to continue to produce lots of Hydralisks, Groove Spines. That is the Hydralisk range upgrade currently being upgraded. +1 missile attacks also coming down right now for those Hydralisks. And looks like FruitDealer, now that he's seen his opponent go air, has just decided to take a 4th base, because he knows that any kind of big gateway armies are going to be a little bit more delayed, just because it does cost a lot of resources to go for a lot of early air units, so you can't really do both. You can't really get up 3 Phoenixes and a Void Ray and get up a big gateway army at the same time. Now, a robotics facility is down here for EGAxslav, and we do have a robotics bay here on the way somewhere. Where is it? Somewhere we have a robotics bay on the way, and I can't find it, but it is here somewhere being created, I promise you. Robotics facility. Oh, wait, it's right there. Alright, I was looking at it earlier. Nice. Alright, cool. Colossi now being created, extended thermal lands now being chrono boosted out. It looks like this is going to be a bit of a Colossus timing attack here, just based on the fact that he's going to be going for a contain with these Phoenixes. This could actually be a very, very strong push here, because, of course, by creating Phoenixes, you're kind of almost forcing your opponent into Hydralisk tech. A Zerg pretty much doesn't have a whole lot of other answers other than Hydralisks to a mass air army. So once you start showing a lot of Phoenixes and a lot of Void Rays, pretty much forces a Zerg player into Hydralisks, and then now he's just chrono boosting out Colossi and Warp Gate units, which are going to do extremely strong against Hydralisk. Hydralisks die extremely fast to Colossi, so Colossi, this is going to actually be a very, very interesting timing attack here, and EGAxslav actually controlling this game very, very well. at this point in time. I think this is actually a very, very good plan here from EGAxslav. Now he does actually have a little bit high on his Nexus energy right now. Could definitely be spending a little bit more of that, but man, he is pumping out those Colossi so fast right now. So many Colossi coming onto the field. Was all this tech scouted by FruitDealer? He did see the robotics facility, but he didn't scout anything else. But he is now going Corruptors, so he does now have Spire tech here up and running. Corruptors currently on the way, and lots of roaches now being produced here. If you're going to go Hydralisks, you're pretty much forced to go roaches as well, just because Hydralisks are very, they are considered to be light units, and they don't have that many hit points. So they definitely need roaches to be able to take armor, or take damage for them, since they are armored units. Now lots of Corruptors currently out on the field here for FruitDealer. Is he up to Hive Tech yet? No, he's not quite up to Hive Tech, but he did just finish that drop tech. So his Overlords do have the ability to carry units now, and he could potentially start doing some drops here, which could be very deadly against a player who's playing as defensively as EGAxslav is right now. Right now he's starting to build up his Gateway army, starting to get up that Colossus count. That Colossus count is actually getting up really, really high, really fast. I'm actually very surprised. He's constantly chrono boosting out 2 Colossi at a time. Those are going to be very, very strong. And here we go. Here's the load up from FruitDealer. Looks like he's going to be going for a big drop. In the meantime, he's got a lot of roaches that are going to come and maybe put pressure on this third base as he drops in the main. This is a brilliant play here from FruitDealer. All the Corruptors are leading the charge. They are going to be moving in, denying any kind of air damage from being done. EGAxslav is now aware of all these units that are now about to be dropped. He did see those Overlords coming into his main, and here come all those Colossi to come deal with it. In the meantime, those roaches have moved into that third base. They are going to start targeting down cannons there, and all these units from FruitDealer are now taking out probes there. Looks like the Colossi are going down rather quickly to these Corruptors. These Corruptors managed to take down quite a bit, but it looks like EGAxslav is going to be able to clean this up though. But check out the food count right now. EGAxslav wasn't really able to do that much damage in the early game, and FruitDealer pretty much exploded on his macro. Look at the food count right now, 124 food to 180 food of FruitDealer. He's in such a fantastic position at this point in time. Yeah, just not enough damage was done in the early game, and now FruitDealer's in such a strong position right now. He was able to get up as many bases as he needed to, and now he's just in full-out macro mode. Lots of units being produced here, more roaches and Corruptors being produced as well. Immortals are now on the field here for EGAxslav. Looks like he's going to start to produce some Immortals to try to deal with this big roach numbers here. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Colossi are pretty good. I guess he's trying to get around the fact that FruitDealer is making a lot of Corruptors, and so by making Immortals, he's basically making these Corruptors pretty much null. There's not a whole lot the Corruptors can do to Immortals, so ooh, nice force field there going down by EGAxslav. Manages to catch a couple of roaches there, but oh no, he's leaving the Corruptors out there, and FruitDealer's going to lose a few Corruptors there, more than he really should have, and the roaches are going to start to push in again on EGAxslav. And can EGAxslav keep up right now? If you check out the food count, EGAxslav is down to 100 food right now to the 187 of FruitDealer. He's constantly just producing more roaches and more lings, and he is just going all in at this point. Well, I shouldn't use the words all in, because that makes it sound like he's not doing anything economic focused, but of course FruitDealer is expanding behind all this pressure. Looks like he is trying to end the game right now though. He is constantly poking in on all sides, trying to press his advantage as strong as he can, and man, he is about to be maxed right now. So many roaches, so many lings, and now 12 Hydralisks on the production tab here for FruitDealer as well. EGAxslav currently creating more Corruptors right now, plus 2 ground weapons on the way. I don't know how I feel about that. At this point in time, EGAxslav is at a very, very dangerous point in the game. He knows he's on the ropes right now. Upgrades are not the way you want to go. Upgrades are a much more long-term focused play. If your opponent is trying to end the game right now and applying a lot of pressure, then you need all your resources to be poured into getting up more units to be able to defend. These upgrades will help in the long term, but I don't even know if this +2 weapons upgrade is going to be done in time for this big engagement that's now coming up, because FruitDealer is now maxed and he's now moving in with a lot of forces here, and I don't think EGAxslav can really do anything about it at this point in time. He just didn't deal enough damage in the early game, and now FruitDealer is in just such a strong position right now, such high food count right now. The Hydralisks now moving in, doing so much damage to those Immortals and to all those tech. Those Hydralisks have so much DPS, they do so much damage if they're kept alive, and it looks like he's just going to crush the forces of EGAxslav. And that is going to be, oh my god, oh, Monday casts. Oh, Monday casts, always causing me trouble. Alright, that's going to be a GG there from EGAxslav. So we're going to go into game 2 now to see if EGAxslav can take a win off of the infamous FruitDealer, see if he can't come back in this best of 3 series. So stick with me, guys. Game 2 right now.